AITA for not letting my boyfriend name our daughter Renesmae. My boyfriend and I are both 18 and 35W pregnant with our daughter. Since the day I found out we were having a girl, he was hell-bent on naming her Renesmae, absolutely refuses to compromise. He's a massive Twilight fan. I personally hate it and would much rather that we don't name our baby after a fictional character. It kinda hit boiling point last night. For weeks I've been telling him we are coming up with something else because I'm not naming my child that. I went onto Instagram where he had posted a picture of us and said in the caption, "I can't wait to meet you Renesmae." I got really mad by this. I told him to delete that, or change the caption because I'm not naming our daughter that. He refused, saying his friends knew now so we had to stick with it. I said I haven't fucking agreed to naming our daughter after some stupid made-up character from the worst books ever fucking made. Delete the post now or get the fuck out of my house. He left to spend the night at a friend's and my parents, who heard the argument, said I should just let him name our daughter that, saying it probably means a lot to him and that I'm being an unreasonable asshole. AITA? Edit. Feel the need to add, I have a stutter and can't even say Renesmae out loud. I would much rather name my child something I can say. Stop trying to adopt my child. She is very much loved and wanted. Baby names fall into the 2 yeses, 1 no category. He absolutely sucks for the post and trying to use that as leverage to get his way. Be careful about someone who uses such a tactic. Your parents also suck for telling you to just go along with the name. At the hospital, presuming you're giving birth in one, I would tell the nurses not to let him sign the birth certificate without you. AITA or edit makes it even worse. They get extra points for saying you should just go along with the name you don't want nor can you pronounce. This is how controlling and abusive relationships start. I saw this on a similar post. Your child is not a billboard for your BF's fandom. She is a person who has to live with ramifications of your decisions, even if she chooses to legally change her name once she's able to. In other words, the child will be bullied and that will cause trauma. I really recommend a list of names that are hard to be teased over and easy for you to pronounce. Agreed. Make sure to let all staff know he is not to fill out any paperwork concerning the child without you physically present. Info: he named your daughter after the Loch Ness Monster? Info: is your boyfriend Edward? In all seriousness, NTA, baby names should be a mutual decision. Holy shit, part of the plot line in the actual book was that it was a stupid AF name. Oh, be fair, it's cheap to do. Only costs about $3.50. If he's getting this bent out of shape over figuring out a name you both can agree on, then I worry about his general preparedness for parenthood. Your parents taking his side is concerning. He's wrong, you're right. Find a name you both can agree on. If he digs his heels in and says it's Renesmae or nothing, then effectively, he's waiving his right to a say. I can't wait to meet you Renesmae. Also, just for clarity, the Twilight's character's name is Renesmae. If it's him misspelling it, then how big a fan could he be? Amen. Was waiting for the fellow Twiherds to hit the mat on the spelling of the name lol. If you're gonna lock down and go for it, spell it right. Now, if he's hell-bent on a Twilight name, might I suggest Carly? That's Renesmee's middle name, and is a lot more toned down than the previous choice. Did he also miss the part where everyone except for the mom thought the name was absolute crap and just went ahead with it because they thought she was just about dead? Twilight discourse has ebbed, thank God, but your daughter will cop hell for being a Renesmae, just like all the little Samwises of this world. Also, you both get a say. She's not his daughter. She is the daughter of you both. Renee is a pretty nice name, though. Naming a child a made-up name that only exists in a fictional universe is one thing. Choosing a name from a part of pop culture that did not hold up well at all barely a decade later is taking things to a whole new level. Even the kids named Kylo are going to be dunking on Op's daughter if she allows this name. This is a huge warning sign. If he refuses to let you have a say in your own baby's name, how controlling is he going to be of you when you're raising a child together? You're 18, so yes, you are an adult, And judging from what you've posted, you're fairly mature, but is this guy seriously the one you want to spend your entire life with? He sounds like a 4-year-old. Anyways, NTA, and he needs to get a grip. It's your baby too, not just his. When you go into labor, make sure you inform everyone that he is not allowed to name the child in the event that you fall unconscious or are taken away for any kind of emergency treatment, in case he tries to pull something behind your back. He's literally 18. They are still kids, that's why they have such stupid ideas. Also, make sure you give the baby your last name. Your boyfriend doesn't sound too bright, and doesn't sound like he cares about you. I wouldn't bet on the longevity of this relationship or him sticking around. In the hospital, you get to choose all of the baby's names. As the person giving birth, and an unwed mother, you have all the legal rights. Don't make the mistake of giving your baby the last name of a man who probably won't stick around long enough for her to remember. I was 17, my boyfriend at the time was allowed to fill out her birth certificate while I was sleeping. He thankfully did her first and middle names correctly, but he used his last name. He wasn't a part of her life after the age of 8 months until he committed suicide 4 years ago. She's 19 now. Other PPL will probably disagree with me, but NTABC, I agree that is a really stupid name and a really terrible series. Good luck. He may have his heart set on this name, but he shouldn't be posting on social media like that and trying to steamroll you. Your parents are out of line too. I'm sure they are just freaking out because their 18-year-old pregnant daughter looks like she might be dumping the boyfriend and trying to figure out how to deal with that. Letting him name your daughter the name that you hate is not a good idea, it's just the easiest way out of the conflict. If you were my daughter, I would say that your boyfriend's behavior over this name issue is a red flag, and it makes me worried that he's going to act out in the same way over and over again whenever you disagree. He's going to be the baby's father no matter what, so you are going to have to learn to set boundaries and stand your ground, so you did the right thing. As many previous posts on baby names, especially pop culture baby names, have established, if one parent doesn't like the name, it's time to move on to a new option. Besides, even the majority of Twilight fans I've encountered don't like Renesmae's name. Standard rule for baby naming is that either parent can veto a name. And that name is god-awful, so you should 100% veto it. Anybody who says otherwise has named their kid Britney, Lachlan, or Spock. This made me laugh so hard, so thanks for that. It drives me mad when people give their kids names with alternative spellings in an attempt to make them unique. It's just not right. Lamea, what? You should both agree on the name, so if you don't like it, then he should be an adult and find another one you both like. It probably means a lot to him. Make him sit down and give you 5 reasons aside from liking Twilight as to why you should name your daughter that. Good luck with both becoming a parent and this boyfriend. Remember that this is a little human that you are both responsible for. People don't think about the fact that the child will have to deal with all the weirdness that comes with having a funky name. It will affect them in school, their job prospects, and that everyone is going to mispronounce their name for the rest of their lives. It gets old really quickly. Someone who has a funky name and will be changing it sometime in the near future. Stick to your guns. It's ridiculous that he thinks you will carry a child for 9 months and he can dictate the name and you have no say. Absolute tool. He's far too immature to be a father. If you two want a relationship where you create another human, you need to be able to discuss and compromise. He doesn't get to decide the kid's name alone. I hate to overstep my boundaries, but I'm just some dude on the internet to you. It seems you have terrible taste in men. This whole thing is embarrassing. He sounds like a kid. A kid having a kid. What a prat. He is the asshole for blackmailing you into the name. This warrants a serious discussion why he is ignoring your share in this. And is willing to stoop so low as to bringing friends and family into the thick. Also, be careful that he doesn't pull a fast one on you if he is the one to go to City Hall once your daughter is born. Talk it through, bring alternatives, be understanding but be relentless in getting that name scrapped. Have him name your cat or dog that, but not your baby. This is something you need to figure out between you two. Also, considered Renee? Two 18-year-olds having a baby equals recipe for disaster. Naming kids after characters in books when the name doesn't exist or is not cool. Even the author said she wouldn't name a real child Renesmae, according to its wiki page anyway. It's double not okay considering you can't even say the name out loud. You could compromise and call her Renee or Asmi, or he could start acting like a grown-up and have a conversation with you about the name of your child. Him posting on Instagram to announce the name is him trying to guilt you into just doing what he wants.